you're watching this video right now, the mid-safe, and somewhere in the back of your mind, there's probably this question: am I actually smart? Here's the thing. The fact that you're asking that question usually means you already know the answer. You just can't see it. The Anita Ganatirisir from mind. Psychology actually has a name for this. It's called the Dunning-Kruger Effect. Wanna see something questionio? Viewer amapicals. The less people know, the more confident they feel. The planet and the more people know, the more they start to doubt themselves. They power with the tour fine of the Pershik. But today, I want to show you something different. The now pisudad amenent, the part nobody talks about. The what is they There are 5 signs of genuine intelligence. Vortsisu, the thermo, and every single one of them looks like a flaw. The diobai diobai. Sign number 1, you overthink. Sangoezi. Before you make a decision, you've already run 10 different scenarios in your head. The T rule C. Before you send a message, you read it again and again. They was some people thorid. And even after a conversation ends, hours later, you're still replaying it. The Singke is smoa. Did you ever think that this was anxiety? The Sir de for theater, because research suggests something else. Sia, theophiam fufulni. People with higher intelligence tend to spend more time in self-reflection. Your brain is running more simulations than average. That's not weakness. The ton for king duration for. That's depth that finds the leogs. Sign number 2, you constantly question yourself. You learn something, you understand it, and then immediately you think, what if I'm wrong? The will de esunueo. You stay quiet, even when you know the answer. Brisa sense de guersords, but I sas Minoshan down titracer. But it said, Bracef, you hold back your ideas because maybe someone else knows better. The tafing you soon do why says now. This has a name too. Daleis officetium. It's called confident humility. They're ballsy. Trusting your ability to learn while staying uncertain about what you know right now. Disease septure for likely. And yes, it's exhausting. They're replaying Eroia. But it's also what keeps you growing. Odyssey, Jirais, wait, what are you feeling right now? Did any of this feel familiar? Valitas, that feeling, that moment of recognition, say the either son, say thamashes, river mea fermel, the Torah dia for thumshaluther eafum, atomic cluff. That's already a sign that vioso theathar. Sign number 3, injustice bothers you more than others. The sining denyao, you see something unfair, the wanna some stum deal, and everyone else just moves on. The wed, but you don't demai a blaze a dasher scented you first. You carry it with you for hours. The tiro the Usaina CD. Maybe even days. Gurula be a fardia, and people might say, you're too sensitive. Diawuds, but that's not what's happening. The Fowen must, you're processing. More layers at once. That what came then, not just what happened. They fancied something that shikes, but why it happened, who it affects, thor sa, and how it could be different. Safing way all at the same time. The maith, that's not sensitivity. The honest stuff, that's bandwidth. Zamosas, sign number 4. The more you know, the smaller you feel. We see something. It sounds backwards. Blindness, but it's real. The facing in the cell they stigrason. The more you learn, Vieli and Turbasir, the more you realize how much you don't know. Thou isincti falls isitf. Su aso ribe. Rifle hour aiming the name. Someone with limited knowledge feels certain very quickly. There's something talented, but someone intelligent keeps expanding. They're Athengeno, and the world expands with them. The live Newart and Coles amo. If you feel small sometimes, the reason, but it's not because you're not enough. There are say it's because you're still growing. The Venus Dirsue. Sign number 5. You struggle to explain things simply. This li find hamisa. Shokwarka. You try to explain something. Aflaitstan lohasum. And halfway through, you stop. The Irmes wanna cease. Because it doesn't feel complete. There was no infortaf. There's always another angle. Brevie they shavi merimian stan. Isuriusov Mariv so Sievern Mariv Redati V. Another layer. Dawa si piathasekle ra. Another detail. They one of for us, and suddenly you've lost them. Verither my falao. But this isn't a communication problem. They're awadasics. It's your brain. Seeing too much at once. Wouldn't that there you they see an imp? For you, simplifying something almost feels like lying. One is because you know it's more complicated than that. There vitains versus densisu with of it ifes da the variety the desa d2 da the boreoi king. I need to ask you something. How many of these signs felt like you? The mis fenishtain and versa. Marset, did you feel the urge to answer that? Think about this. There is safe Krlik. You decided to watch a video about whether you might be smart. Someone who is completely certain about their intelligence, the BOF ni with like an earth, doesn't look for that kind of answer. Sears ne seer of Phil Samorme, the person at the peak of the Dunning-Kruger curve, that of Z, they didn't search for this video. 7 Fairfine Steb. You did. Vera da Forlud performili, and maybe that's the only confirmation you actually needed. We say fame say. The next video asks a different question. Why do manipulative people specifically target intelligent minds? That is, Yuki Werden Gishno. Subscribe so you don't miss it. Though they more said forcer, and tell me in the comments, thou the other door a place to tisham. Which of these signs felt the most like you?